Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Reviews. We've got the Titan Power Titan King TP-01 King of Beasts. It's the third-party unlicensed Voltron. This design was taken from a statue made by another unlicensed. It was a fan statue actually that he sold to a couple of people. I believe his name is Kwan Jun Park. Really great design, as you can see, but his were painted. You could get it like opaque, metallic, things like that. A lot more detail actually to it than this version that they did here, but obviously this is a fully articulated, die-cast, LEDs, so there's a lot more engineering that goes into it, even though they, I guess you could say, stole the base design from said statue maker. But anyway, just a pre-note before we get started with this, there's going to be this upload, and then later I'm going to have to re-upload this review. I'll still keep this one up because there's an accessory missing. Mine came missing the spinning shield or spinning blade. A lot of you guys call it a shield as well. I call it a shield, but technically it's a spinning blade. It does spin. So once it's complete, go ahead, re-upload the review. Most of it will be the same, but obviously I'm going to be able to shoot him holding and holstering the shield as well. So, first things first. It's listed at 30 centimeters, which is 11.8 inches, or approximately 12 inches. I'm getting 12 inches on the dot, actually. And I went ahead and put it in a lot more of a straight up pose than I normally do to get that accurate height. Now, we just said that it's missing the spinning blade, which does suck, but it comes with the dual blades, the sword, it comes with the handle for the spinning blade, or shield, and then this piece is it's his sword holster. It holsters both the sword and the shield, which again is missing. Card, which is really cool, as well as the instructions. So take a look at the instructions because it does tell you where the buttons on the lines are. I didn't know that these were instructions. I thought it was just a poster. Looked all around for the buttons. Could have saved a lot of time had I looked at that first. So pretty cool stuff. Also shows you how to attach the sword and shield to said holster on his back. And first things first, we'll go ahead and give you guys a roundabout view, then we'll go into the articulation and accessories. So even though it's not quite as detailed as a statue, it still does have a pretty decent amount of detailing to it. So there you go. Now let's break this thing down. Now we'll go ahead and get into the articulation on this guy. So the head, no ball joints, but there's a swivel here at the neck. 360. Got kind of tight there for some reason, but it's fine now. Maybe something was a piece of dust even. These things are so small. But then it has two pieces of articulation. So this can rock back and forth. So I'm not sure. Maybe it is a ball joint then, because it can rock back and forth, and then he has a separate rocker for the head that just rocks back and forth. So there's no ball joint where the head meets the neck, but maybe one where the neck meets the clavicle. Alright, so I don't want to forget the butterfly. Pretty good amount here. These on the back actually move down. They move together, so it's easiest to do like that. Or else, yeah. Alright, so we're moving the wings down temporarily on the black line. Ratcheted joints. Really strong ratcheted joints. Good feel to them. And you can feel the die cast. So it's not just die cast. In the inner frame, there are die cast parts throughout as well. Good parallel. That outward shoulder swing. Full 360 bicep swivel here. Single jointed elbows. For something like this, I think that's all that's really necessary. Wrist rotation. And the lion's mouths, hands, whatever you want to call them, do open. I just noticed the gun inside of here. Let's take a look at that. Huh. Okay, so let's see if the red line has the equivalent. And it does. So that's pretty cool. And I played with this quite a bit, even almost done with the gallery. Still never noticed that, so a couple more pictures to take. Alright, so moving on to the waist. Not a 360 because it hits this star piece here. It's a bit raised, so no, but still a good 45-ish degrees. Now with the hips, oh, there is ab crunch. Not much, but it's there. And unlike the other joints, it's not ratcheted or anything like that, so friction. Now these side skirts move out, front skirts do, and surprisingly the back skirts do as well. So that's pretty cool. You hear those loud ratchets. Get grounded there. Alright. And these are heavy, so even with the ratchets, you can get it, but you know, if you let gravity take its course, it's just going to keep going down and down. So you want to watch it when you're posting them, make sure that he's in place, you know. And let's look at the outward. It's really good, and that holds really well. So let's see. He doesn't really have outward ankle tilt, and that's the thing that's keeping him from being able to do any kind of balancing. Lots of inward, but not outward. We'll look at that in a second. Thigh swivel. Good amount. And this is soft ratcheted too. So it's one of those ones I can kind of technically do a 360, but with these things sticking out of the side, you don't really want to take it too far. Knees, big ol' blatantly die-cast joints. I love it. Double jointed, and I like how this thigh slides down too. Neat stuff. Now the feet, forward and back movement, and these pieces here around the ankle move too. Now clicking, inside, inward, ankle tilt, but no outward. So we start posing him a little bit more in a way that I feel is more fitting. Everybody's different. Some people don't like this and prefer just the straight up whatever's like I had at the beginning of the video. God bless them. Now, these pieces on the top of the black line head do move. And it should be noted that for access to the buttons, the yellow and blue line heads do move as well. Alright, so let's start taking a look at the gimmicks and the accessories. Alright, looking at the LEDs here. Inside, it's hard to see inside, but there's a button at the roof of the mouth. If your fingers are smaller, you can access it with those. My fingers are not small, so using a spudger here. And it's hard to see, like these eyes, they're clear, but it's a similar shade of blue. So the LEDs are on, and we'll take a look at it with the lights off in a second. Going from the other side with the blue line. Making sure that's on. It's weird, I can see it more on the blue line than the yellow line. And that's blue on blue. Raise this back up. These I can access, they're just buttons underneath, and their mouths open so wide. You'd have to be Shaq not to be able to get your finger in that. And for the eyes, the black line, it's right here, and the button is colored gold, so can't miss it. Alright. And one thing I noticed is that my lights dim pretty fast, so we'll go over how to replace the batteries on this thing too. But those are the LEDs. Alright, going over to the accessories, and again, I'm missing the spinning blade. Mine just plain didn't come with it. I got this from Shozi's store, and they said they're sending a replacement, so it'll take them about a week to get it out, and then however long it takes to get here. Thankfully, I have a couple of friends who own it. One of them's letting me borrow a shield, so I'll get that re-upload done here sooner than later. But in terms of ownership, I won't have a spinning blade for a while. So, of course, that's the Blazing Sword. Pretty cool stuff. The sword itself is huge. Now, with the dual blades, they can, of course, be held separately. Or, they can attach together. You see the peg on there, female end on the other. And they peg in pretty tight, so I don't peg them all the way personally, especially since you don't see it inside. But there's that. Now the spinning blade would just peg onto this guy, and then this would go inside of the lion's mouth. Now to show you how this guy looks holstered on his back, it's pretty neat stuff. Move those wings back up. I actually forgot about that. My bad. You take one of these white pieces, peg it in, pretty easy. And then the other, let's go ahead and zoom in here. And I really like the kind of 3D look of that, rather than just rounded smooth. It's pretty cool. It reminds me of CGI. And again, this has this peg too, so you can also peg the shield onto it as well. So, now zoomed out, pretty cool stuff, and you can adjust the sword up, down, you know, loosen or tighten this piece as well. I like it as far up as possible, just for posing, but then again, I think it looks better with it down a bit more. I can't wait to have the shield too, to be able to put onto his back. I actually like that look more than him holding it. It's just unique. In fact, I think this is the first time I've seen a Voltron that can holster his sword onto his back like that. Alright, so we are just going for a running pose, and we will also make sure that we're looking at it a little bit angled. That's not bad, but I want to go underneath, maybe give it some tilt here. Yeah, get this guy focused. And there we go. And you can see a lot more poses and the like, of course, on the full Ren breakdown on kumasawa.com. Link will be in the description. Alright, so we had talked about how my lights would dim, so we're going to go ahead and get these batteries removed. The head, I hadn't found anybody who found out how to figure this one out yet, but basically, these two halves on the back, and you can see where it kind of goes around the battery, they just slide out. What I did, I had to take a spudger, the thicker part of this one, and just slide them both over. So hopefully this pulls right out as it looks like it should, and it does. And you can see here, this is battery. Boom, boom. I'm guessing these are two LR41s in there. I will confirm here in a second. I'm not going to actually replace the batteries in front of you, even though I've got the batteries right here, just for time's sake. And a lot of these, they're normally They're normally open through both sides, so that's a good and bad thing that this one isn't. Because they don't slide through, but at the same time, accessing these guys is kind of a punk. But yeah, I'll get these out and confirm in a second. Okay, so I already replaced the one for the green line just to check it out. Like the head, this is two AG0 or LR261 batteries. The battery compartment's in here, pops out, pops back in, pop out the batteries. This guy, you can see where the hole is. That's where the button goes. And I accidentally just press the button, unpress it. And the line head just slides right back on. It's a friction thing. Alright, so that's how you do the hands. Alright, now for the feet. I've already got this started, but clean up a little bit of flash there. Take a spudger and just work that off. Alright. So we have access to one screw. The next part is going to be this cover here. We'll lean this back some. Oh, there's some paint rub right there, so watch that. And I'm using a razor blade here just because it's so thin in case there's somewhere that just can't get to the spudger, because it started off really nice. Yeah, that's gonna take some work. Alright, so got those two off. Those two pieces. The third piece is this right here, and it's not budging for me. Honestly, my lights on my feet are fine. So they're not dimming, so I'm not gonna do that at the moment, rather than just mar up the figure, because I don't like some of the scuffs that I've put on in the first place with these feet or whatever. So just leaving those be, but these two spots and then this square right here comes off, and you'll access the third screw, and I believe those are LR260 batteries, two of them for each foot. Alright, so some final thoughts on this guy. Personally, I like it. It's unapologetically a big, heavy, high quality toy, and I really dig that. It's nice to have one that is nice but doesn't feel so nice that you hardly want to touch it. Maybe, you know, like the Solar Chigoken and things like that. And we will have a comparison video up in the next couple of weeks of this versus the SOC. Give you guys some time to digest thoughts on this in particular alone first. But yeah, I dig it quite a bit. You know, I wish that the original designer, well, the original, I guess the creator of the stylization of Voltron, the Kwanjun Park guy, he would have been more open to making an articulated version, because I certainly would have bought it from him before a company that used his stylization. In fact, I actually want to see if I can get one of his statues just to have, you know, because it's a very nice design and it puts me on to his work too. But overall, it's good. You know, don't expect something like a Solar Chigoken or a Sindel toy, just that big, fancy, super high-end stuff. This is a big die-cast toy, again, unapologetically, and it's fun. You either like the look, the proportions, and things like that, or you don't. That's subjective, but as a product, really nice, hard, clicky joints, big, heavy feel. You know, to me, The paint applications are well done. I wish that there would have been like a better sealant and stuff like that. Even some of the areas when I was prying off the batteries and stuff, you see little scratches here and there. So that's not cool, but overall, it's good quality stuff, and whether you're playing or whether you're displaying, I think it'll last you a long time. But anyway, check out the full written breakdown and gallery on kumastyle.com. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you guys very much for watching. See you next time.